Every fortune leaves evidence. In December of 2001, security guards stood at the lobby doors of a Houston skyscraper and would not let anyone back inside. 15,000 employees had just watched their retirement accounts fall to zero in a single afternoon. Somewhere upstairs, a shredder was still running. Before this file is over, you will see a spreadsheet so complicated that federal investigators needed 2 years just to read it. You will learn that this company was named America's most innovative for 6 years running, right up until the year it collapsed. And you will watch a courtroom hand down a 24-year sentence to a man who was, on paper, one of the smartest executives in America. This is the autopsy of a $70 billion company and the 6 executives who made its debts disappear on paper, because on paper is the only place they ever existed. Money Autopsy, File 8, the smartest guys in the room. In 1985, an ambitious executive named Kenneth Lay merged 2 unremarkable natural gas pipeline companies into one new firm. He called it Enron. For its first several years, Enron did exactly what it looked like it did. It moved gas through pipelines and sold it. Then Lay had a more ambitious idea. Stop just moving energy, start trading it, like a bank trades currency. By the late 1990s, Enron was no longer a pipeline company. It was Wall Street's favorite story. Fortune magazine named it America's most innovative company, not once, 6 years in a row. Its new CEO, a former consultant named Jeffrey Skilling, was treated as a genius for reinventing what an energy company could even be. At its peak, Enron's stock traded near $90 a share, and analysts across Wall Street rated it a buy. Here is the mechanism, and it is simpler than it sounds. In 1992, regulators approved a method called mark-to-market accounting for Enron's trading business. Normally, a company only counts profit once it actually receives the money. Mark-to-market let Enron estimate all the profit a long-term contract might ever earn and book the entire projected total today as current income. It was legal. It was also an invitation. The more optimistic the projection, the better this quarter looked, whether the money ever arrived or not. Optimistic projections still leave a paper trail of debt somewhere. Enron's chief financial officer, Andrew Fastow, solved that problem too. Fastow built a web of outside partnerships called special purpose entities, dozens of them, with names investors were never meant to remember. Whenever a deal turned bad, Enron didn't fix it. It sold the losses to one of these entities, off Enron's own books entirely. Billions of dollars in real debt simply stopped appearing on Enron's balance sheet, not because it was gone, because it had been moved next door. A scheme this size needs one more signature, the outside auditor whose entire job is to say no. That auditor was Arthur Andersen, then one of the 5 biggest accounting firms on earth. Year after year, Andersen signed off on Enron's books and collected enormous consulting fees from Enron at the very same time. The firm meant to police the fraud was financially dependent on the company committing it. In October of 2001, Enron admitted to a $638 million quarterly loss and wiped over $1 billion from shareholder equity tied directly to Fastow's partnerships. Wall Street, which had trusted this company completely, suddenly could not find the bottom of the hole. A rescue merger with a rival energy company collapsed within weeks once its accountants looked at the real numbers. The stock that had traded near $90 was now worth pennies. On December 2nd, 2001, Enron filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. At the time, it was the largest corporate bankruptcy in American history. Employees found out from the news the same morning security began escorting people out of the building. By the end of that year, the stock had lost 94% of its value. Arthur Andersen, convicted of obstructing justice for shredding Enron documents, did not survive either. One of the 5 largest accounting firms on earth ceased to exist within the year. The executives who built the scheme had one advantage ordinary employees never had: a way out before the crash. Enron's own retirement plan matched employee contributions entirely in company stock and blocked employees from selling that stock until they turned 50. Company leadership kept telling employees the stock was a great investment in meetings held while some insiders were already selling their own shares. 15,000 employees watched their 401k accounts fall to nothing. A settlement later paid 20,000 of them $356 million combined. Divide that by what they lost, and it does not come close. Here is the myth this story usually gets told wrong, that Enron was an obvious con, and everyone outside the company should have seen it coming. The record says otherwise. Fortune called it America's most innovative company 6 years straight, through the exact years the fraud was running. Wall Street's own analysts, reading the same audited books everyone else read, rated the stock a buy almost until the week it collapsed. The fraud did not survive because it was well hidden from smart people. It survived because it was made too complicated for anyone to want to be the one who asked the obvious question. The trial finally reached a jury in the spring of 2006. On May 25, 2006, both Kenneth Lay and Jeffrey Skilling were convicted on multiple counts of fraud and conspiracy. Kenneth Lay died of a heart attack 6 weeks later, before he was ever sentenced. Under federal law, his conviction was formally wiped from the record. Jeffrey Skilling was sentenced to 24 years in federal prison and ordered to forfeit $45 million. Andrew Fastow, who cooperated with prosecutors, received 7 files now, and Enron breaks the pattern in an uncomfortable way. Every episode before this one was about an individual losing a fortune they could not manage. This one is about 6 executives who never lost anything at all, until federal investigators forced the truth out of a filing cabinet. The actual loss landed on 15,000 people who trusted a balance sheet they were never equipped to question, because the people who built it made sure of that. If this file earned it, subscribe and leave a comment for the 15,000 people this story is actually about. Next on the table, a charming financier who ran the largest fraud in Wall Street history for decades from an office 2 floors above his own victims. Every fortune leaves evidence,